Alright, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the radar scopes here. Captain Nabs is back with you once again for another live stream here on Twitch. So let's go ahead and get this party started. We got a couple of airplanes moving around Toronto here. We got still a gusty wind out of the northwest. It's been hanging out for about 2 or 3 days now. Just won't seem to go away. So we're going to carry on with what we've had before, which is I think we're going to be using 3-3 right for today. Just checking a source here to see what it actually says, but I'm going to guess that we are doing, actually we are doing 2-3 and 2-4 right now, so. Alright, we'll go with that. So let's go ahead and quickly just open up my settings here and just change the runway configuration so it's ready for my ATIS to launch here. So it's usually departures 2-3 and arrivals 2-4 right. Overall, on average, that gets everybody the shortest taxi in. Got a few airplanes in my airspace way up north. Let's see if we can get them contacting us here. And even as we logged in, we had Montreal Online right next to us. They logged off even in the time it took me to log in here. And so we're going to have a 2-3, 2-4 right configuration. This guy is going to leave my airspace in the next little while, so I'm not so worried about him. And we got one airplane here on the ground who appears to have a clearance already. There was not apparently a delivery controller on board, but I guess there is one now. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly pull up on my other screen here, my stream as well, so I can chat with anybody that has any questions. So let's see if we can have a little bit of fun tonight, lure in a bit of traffic. Toronto never fails to lure them in when, as long as there's people here. Controllers here, I mean. We got one guy inbound here to Buttonville. I can't even remember if they do any weather there anymore. No, they closed the weather office there over the last couple of years because it was... they just felt there wasn't enough traffic. Once the control tower closed and most of the flight schools left, there was not enough traffic to make it worth keeping a weather office and everything open there. So. Do a quick little volume check there as well to make sure it's all good, and nobody seems to want to talk to me.
Radio check.
Calling for a radio check, read you 5x5.
Radio check.
Calling for a radio check, I read you 5x5.
Toronto Center, good evening. Lufthansa 74 Heavy. We feel it's flight level 380.
Lufthansa 74 Heavy, Toronto Center, good evening. Squawk Cadet. Lufthansa 74 Heavy, thank you. Identified, flight level 380, welcome aboard. Alright, now I've got my chat window open. If somebody said something prior to now, I probably didn't see it because I didn't have my chat window open properly. But I've got it open now, so welcome aboard, everybody. Now I think we've got everything just about set up here. Got a couple of other airplanes out here in my airspace, a KLM. Not calling me, as I said. This guy here, he's going to leave my airspace in the next 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm just not even going to bother trying to get him to call me because by the time I get a hold of him, he's probably going to be gone already. So sometimes it's just not worth expending a lot of energy to get a hold of people. It's a surprisingly quiet evening in Toronto. That much I'll say for sure. But nevertheless, Toronto does eventually, you know, when Toronto is online, it does tend to get people pretty quickly here. So the Friday night ops has got to be one of the quietest Friday night ops I've ever seen. So tonight's Friday night ops is Kansas City versus St. Louis aircraft. The idea being to see which airport gets more arrivals and departures in the given time without necessarily airplanes flying between the two of them. So it's kind of a non-crossfire competition. And there's only 15 airplanes on the ground in St. Louis and 12 on the ground in Kansas City. Like, that's a remarkably small number for Friday night ops. A remarkably small number. And I feel a little bit bad for Kansas City Center, but it just doesn't have any airports that have good scenery. And I think that's what it comes down to as well. Is I looked at it and I sort of said, meh, I'm not really interested in it because I don't have any scenery. I don't think there is any good scenery for those airports. So a little bit disappointing there. Got this one guy. Oh, never mind. He was at the gate. Now he's taxiing. So let's go ahead and get him to contact us.
Toronto Center, Air Sprint 42, flight level 450, start descent.
Air Sprint 42, Toronto Center, good evening, Squawk Cadet. Nashville, he came from Nashville.
Air Sprint 42.
Air Sprint 42, thank you very much. You're identified descending through flight level 440. Continue descent, flight level 240. Information in Toronto is Mike, plan an ILS to 24 right.
Okay, information, Mike, down at 240, and I'm going to Buttonville, Charlie Yankee Kilo Zulu for Air Sprint 42.
Air Sprint 42, I saw that, and I thought about it as soon as I said it. Weather in Buttonville is favoring runway 33, so you could plan runway 33 RNAV.
Runway 33 RNAV, we'll plan for that, Air Sprint 42, thanks.
What is his VPLS?
Toronto Center, Alpaca 4 Victor Lima with you, passing through 297 for 36,000.
Alpaca 4 Victor Lima Toronto, you've left my airspace to the south. You can go back to Unicom 122.8. I'll try to catch you next time.
Affirmative, back to 122.8, Alpaca 4 Victor Lima, thank you.
So he's going direct to Sickbo and then Buttonville. So, all right. We can work with that. There's not too much traffic in Toronto, so we can work with that and around that. Hello, buddy. Multiple contact me's when you're on the ground. You got to watch your V-pilot, people. We did identify him already. You got to watch your V-pilot, people, or whatever you're using. You got to watch it to make sure that you're, that when someone's trying to call you, you see it. I get it if I log on when somebody's on the runway, and I get that. But, if you were parked at the gate and still the time it takes you to get the runway, you didn't notice that I was online then, it starts to bug me a little bit. Okay, this guy's a VFR, so he is going to be... I don't know what a VL3 is. Let's see if... Nope. Euroscope also does not know what a VL3 is, so... And while we're at it here, let's open up the scope for City Ground because we've got an airplane parked there. So we're going to have to talk to this guy. There he is.
Good evening, Toronto Center. Air Canada 168, airborne passing 2,500 feet, runway heading.
Air Canada 168, Toronto Center, good evening. Squawk code 5560.
Squawk 5560, Air Canada 168.
Air Canada 168, thank you very much. You're identified climbing through 2000. The Toronto altimeter for you is 3001. Climb flight level 230.
Climb flight level 230, Air Canada 168.
Air Canada 168, roger. And at 3,600, turn left direct Tulek on course.
Turn left direct confirm our airway probably the control.
Air Canada 168. Air Canada 168, actually, did you program in a departure today? I see now.
Departure, go pop 3 control.
Air Canada 168, okay. Turn left, direct to Lek on course. And I'll send him.
Turn left, direct to Lek, Tango Uniform Lima Echo Kilo, Air Canada 168.
Air Canada 168, that's correct. All right. Why does I keep losing my track on Lufthansa here? He must keep on disappearing and reappearing on the network. Every time someone disappears and reappears on the network, their track of which controller is monitoring them and controlling them is lost anytime you disconnect from the network, which is fine if it's once or a while, but it seems like every time I flip back up to this northern view here, he's lost again.
Good day, Toronto City. This is November 1253, requesting VFR to the Pearson International Airport.
November 1253, Toronto Center, good evening. What's your type of aircraft?
We're a Victor Lima 3.
Okay, a VL3 spin. Okay, November 1253, Toronto, Roger. Runway 26 at Toronto City. The altimeter is 3002. The wind's 300 at 13, gust 19. Squawk code for you today is 1234. I didn't do that on purpose. I just picked one at random.
Squawk code 1234. Expect runway 26 for November 1223.
November 1253, that's correct. And are you ready to taxi right now?
Just a second while we enter in our code.
November 1253, just let me know when you're ready to taxi.
This is November 1253, ready for taxi.
November 1253, Roger, runway 26, and the altimeter is again 3002. Taxi through the apron at your discretion, and Charlie Delta. Hold short 26, advise ready.
Charlie Delta, taxi to the apron at my discretion, hold short 26.
Air Sprint 42, Toronto, continue descent to 7,000 on use Toronto Pearson altimeter 3001.
Okay, down to 7,000, 3001, Air Sprint 42.
Air Canada 168, heavy, continue climb, flight level 360.
Continue climb for level 360, Air Canada Heavy 168.
Roger. See, and I don't know if you saw that, but this guy did put there in his comments that he is a newbie on VATSIM. Please speak slowly and report slowly.
Toronto City, what is the altitude that we're going to be climbing to?
November 1253, you can plan not above 1,500.
Okay, 1,500 for 1252.
Let's see here. Yeah, so if you're ever a newbie on VATSIM, please put it in the comments. It's not an admission of weakness. It just simply gives the controllers a little bit more understanding of your level of knowledge. Otherwise, we're just making assumptions about people. And so it helps us provide better service. We know now why you are, we know now that you're new. We'll try to go a little slower. We'll try to keep things a little simpler when you're a new pilot. So please, if you are new, just say so. Don't hesitate. All right. Not too busy right now, but give it a little bit of time, and hopefully we'll lure in a couple of people. That was weird. All right. I don't know where this guy is going or if he's going anywhere. Seems to be okay. Let's see what his flight plan is. His flight plan is VFR to the north, going to the falls, return to the airport. Helicopter type Eurocopter. Okay, yeah. That's fine. He can play around VFR anyways. Doesn't matter too much. Won't affect us too much. November 1253 Toronto, are you ready?
We're ready for departure, yes.
November 1253 Toronto, right turnout towards Pearson is approved. Not above 1,500. Winds 300, 13 gust 19. Clear for takeoff, runway 26.
Clear for takeoff, runway 26 for 1253.
Didn't read back any of the rest of it, and that's not critical, but it is more reassuring to me if I know he's going to get it. Air Canada 168 Heavy, turn left direct hockey on course.
Turn left direct hockey, Hotel Oscar Charlie Kilo Echo.
Air Canada 168, that's correct. Alright, there's our VFR. He should pop up here in a second.
Roger, Thunder, do you know what runway we can expect at Pearson?
Why do I not see him on this one here? That's why, because there's a filter on, I think. November 1253 Toronto, you can plan to land on runway 24 right or 23. Which one's closer to where you want to park?
Okay, thank you for those options. My co-pilot is he's my student and he's trying to work out where we're going to be parking today.
November 1253 Roger. Toronto, altimeter's 3001, and you're clear to left base right now for runway 24 right. If you want to switch to runway 23, just let me know.
Okay, we'll let you know.
And this guy's flight plan actually works out pretty well. I like it. The other thing I've got to look at then for him is... I can't even remember. I used to know what the fixes for the RNAV approach, and I haven't seen someone do the RNAV approach to Buttonville in a long, long time. Airsprint 42 Toronto. The Toronto Pearson visibility is 15 miles and ceiling is at 4,200 broken. Did you want to plan for a visual approach to 33 at Buttonville, or do you want to do the RNAV?
Oh, we can start with the RNAV and then we'll go from there for the visual for Airsprint 42.
Airsprint 42, Roger. When you get it set up there, proceed direct MEVTO.
Direct MEVTO, Airsprint 42.
Toronto Center, this is November 1253. Can you confirm that it was runway 24 right?
November 1253, affirmative. Runway 24 right.
Thank you.
Got lots of Chicago centers here. Alright, so he's going to go to MEVTO, and that's basically starts him on a 15-mile final into Buttonville. That's perfect. That'll keep him clear of all the departure airspace. hand off this Lufthansa over to Minneapolis here. Okay, Minneapolis has agreed to take him. Lufthansa 74 heavy. Contact Minneapolis now on 133.4.
Minneapolis on 133.4 for Lufthansa 8774 heavy. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good day. Fortunately, there's not much other traffic because this guy's not doing a very good job of joining us very straight in finally, or straight into the base even. I don't know why he's going out so far, but anyways. If there was a lot of other traffic around, I would worry because he's kind of on his own. I'm going to let him do his thing. Not going to make too much of a big deal about it. That's the way I look at it. You know, it's the job of ATC is to make sure that the operation is efficient. But if, you know, pilots want to do something specific, if it doesn't interfere with anybody else, you let them do it. That air sprint 42 is still pretty high, 15,000 feet entering the control zone, or entering the terminal unit here. I wonder if he's going to be able to get down or not. He's going down pretty quickly. I think he should be able to. We'll see. Just hoping we can lure in a little bit more traffic here in Toronto. It is surprisingly quiet for a Friday night. But the other thing that surprised me was that when I came to log on here, that there were no other controllers online in Toronto, which is unusual on a Friday night of all nights. Toronto is always a very popular place, so to see nobody on there at all really kind of is blowing my mind right now. That's why I decided to log into Toronto. I was going to do something else, but I decided to log into Toronto just to provide the service because nobody else was there providing any, and I was a little shocked by it. Usually on a Friday night or almost any night in Toronto, it's fairly busy. So again, I'm just surprised to see so little.
Toronto Center, this is November 1283. We are kind of lost. Can you give us our nearest waypoint?
November 1253, you are set up on a base leg for runway 24 right, so suggest you maintain the present heading for now, and I'll prompt you for a turn when you're just about on final.
Okay, thank you.
At least he's not afraid to admit when he's lost. I have had people who are afraid to admit when they're lost, so. Now, one thing I did notice is that we do have one airplane on the ground in London. So I'm going to also pull up the London view in a second here. I can probably close the Toronto City view.
Toronto Center, good evening. November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo at CYXC.
November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo, Toronto. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo is a Cessna 172 located at ramp 9. Looking for taxi instructions to the active for VFR departure to Toronto.
And November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo, stand by one moment. I'll just fill out your strip here.
No problem, sir. We'll stand by. November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo.
I don't think I can do it until he...
And center air sprint 42, you got lower for me.
Air sprint 42 to send 4,000.
Down to 4, air sprint 42.
Yep. All right, well, anyways, let's pull up the weather here. All right, November, Charlie Foxtrot, November Lima Romeo, Toronto. The London winds are showing 330 at Niner, the altimeter 3009 Niner. You can plan runway 33 for departure. Did you say you were inbound to Toronto Pearson? Is that where you're going?
It'll be Toronto City Center if I could for Foxtrot.
Okay, Foxtrot Lima Romeo, no problem. Toronto City Center, I'll put that in the flight plan. Squawk code of 1210. And are you ready to taxi at this time?
Yes, sir. We are ready for taxis. November Foxtrot.
All right, November Foxtrot Lima Romeo. And what's your type of aircraft and planned altitude for cruise?
Sorry, Cessna 172, and we'll take 3,500. I'll request higher once airborne if I need it. November Foxtrot.
November Foxtrot Lima Romeo, roger. Runway 33, and again, the altimeter 3009er in London. Taxi, the apron at your discretion. Golf, and hold short, runway 33, advise ready for takeoff.
All right, expect 33. We'll squawk 1210, altimeter 3009, and we'll taxi Golf and hold short 33 for November Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
Gotcha. November 1253 Toronto. Have you got runway 24 right in sight now?
Yeah, we got the runway in sight.
Thank you. Airsprint 42 Toronto. Descend 3000 via MEVTO cleared to Buttonville RNAV runway 33.
Down to 3,000 via MEVTO, RNAV 33 Buttonville, Airsprint 42.
And I don't think I'm going to be able to do
Toronto Center, November Foxtrot Lima Romeo request.
November Foxtrot Lima Romeo. Go ahead.
Okay if we take off intersection hotel off 33?
This is November 1283. Where are we clear for the virtual approach?
November Foxtrot Lima Romeo. Hotel intersection departure is approved. Taxi, apron your discretion, Golf, Hotel, and hold short runway 33. Advise ready.
All right, Golf, Hotel, and we'll hold short 33. November Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
November 1253 Toronto. If you're cleared to join a base, that implies you can fly all the legs of the circuit thereafter.
Okay, clear for the base.
November 1253 Toronto. The winds at Pearson showing 310, gust 26. Cleared to land. Runway 24 right.
Clear and 24 right for November 1283.
Be 3 miles. I cannot seem to do anything to pull up this guy's flight plan. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything for his flight plan until he gets airborne, and I have a target for him because I can't even pick out his target, and that's the problem. If I could pick out his target, I could probably make it work, but oh, I got it.
Toronto Center, November Foxtrot Lima Romeo, holding short 33 on hotel, ready to go.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Toronto, right turn out is approved. You can report clearing the zone to the east. The winds are 330 at Niner, clear for takeoff. Runway 33.
Right turn approved, clear for takeoff 33 Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
And now I got him a flight plan. I'll see if this Chicago controller will take a handoff right around Flint here. And there he is. He's airborne. creating a strip when somebody has not filed any flight plan can be very challenging using Euroscope. That's one of the few shortcomings I find of this software. It's very challenging if you have not filed any flight plan whatsoever. Euroscope does not like creating flight plans in that circumstance. So, seem to have managed to get it to finally work, but it's a little bit tricky, to say the least. So, it does help if you file a flight plan, guys. But I'll make it work anyways, even if you don't. November 1253, welcome to Toronto. You can make the right turn on Charlie 2, the high speed on the right. And do you know where you're parking?
Yes, we're going to be parking at the general aviation ramp.
November 1253, roger. Vacate Charlie 2, then taxi Echo Alpha into Sky Service.
We'll vacate Charlie 2 and then on to Echo. Can you confirm that Charlie 2 is the high speed to our right?
November 1253, affirmative. Right turn there on the high speed Charlie 2, and then Echo will be the right turn after that.
Okay, on to Charlie 2, then Echo.
Just want to see him get below 3,000. Once he goes below 3,000, I'll switch him over to Buttonville. Although there's no other traffic, I don't know really why I need to hang on to him. You know what? That's fine. Air Sprint 42, Toronto. I've got no further traffic observed. Reported between you and Buttonville. You can switch to Unicom 122.8 for the arrival. Give me a call down and clear on this frequency.
Over to Unicom, Air Sprint 42.
Keep an eye on this guy. Make sure he taxis the right way, because that's part of the job here.
This is November 1283, requesting further taxi instructions to the general aviation ramp.
November 1253, turn right there on Echo, and then about 2,000 feet ahead, it'll be on your left, Echo Alpha.
Okay, Echo on Alpha.
Echo, and then Echo Alpha.
Oh, Echo and Echo Alpha.
You got it.
Sorry about that. On our charts, there's a big 3-3 left covering the names of every single taxiway.
Hopefully, if he's got Microsoft Flight Simulator, he's got some good signs in there as well.
Can you confirm that we were on the right taxiway?
Number 1253, affirmative. Just continue straight ahead there. Like I said, it's about 2,000 feet. It's right in front of the big 3-bay hangar, just about your 11 o'clock there.
Okay, thank you.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, you're just leaving the London control zone to the east. Did you want to request flight following en route to Toronto?
Yeah, I'll take flight following Foxtrot and Romeo.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, roger. Squawk ident for me, please, and confirm your altitude.
Squawk ident and 3,500 Foxtrot and Romeo.
There it is. Foxtrot Lima Romeo, thank you. You're identified at 3,500. And remain VFR at all times. Navigation at your discretion. Advise prior to any altitude changes.
All right, we'll advise any altitude changes, and we'll navigate our own navigation. Foxtrot and Romeo, thanks for your help.
I'm about to get rid of Air Canada 168. We're going to have one guy left here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, where's this guy here? Yep, he's getting there. Air Canada 168 heavy. Contact Chicago Center now. 134.87. See ya. Watch him.
Contact Chicago, control 134.87, Air Canada 168. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Good night. Here we go. I was afraid he had left already. And he's almost there. I'll give him a little progressive taxi instruction here. That's something else that if you're ever lost at an airport, especially a busy, big, complex airport like Toronto Pearson, You can always ask for progressive taxi instructions, and progressive taxi means that the controller will keep an eye on you and will tell you specifically when to turn left, when to turn right, instead of just giving you the list of taxiways. Sometimes it's a little bit easier when it's a fairly complicated route. November 1253 Toronto. That next left just up ahead there is Echo Alpha. You can turn left there into the apron.
Okay, we'll turn left on Echo Alpha and enter the apron. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night. And now we're just down to 2 VFR aircraft. Or one VFR and one landing anyways. Got a couple of inbounds now into Toronto, so hopefully they'll get here sooner than later. Most of them look like they're actually pretty far away at this point. I think it's going to be a bit of a snooze tonight in Toronto, but maybe if we sit here for long enough, we'll lure in a couple of departures as well. Just curious, I'm looking over my VATS by now at St. Louis, 30 departures, 34 arrivals, which is a very small number for an FNO. Even if you combine that with Kansas City, which is the other half of this. Well, Kansas City's got actually a lot of inbounds, 73 arrivals, 30 departures. So the arrivals are almost a normal level for an FNO. With the departures, it seems a little bit weak. Anyways. Oh well, it's a bit of a pity. I do enjoy a busy evening on VATSIM, and it just seems like it's not going to quite be here tonight. But we'll stick it out for another hour or so, guys, and if anybody out there wants to fly, wants something to do, come and poke some holes in the sky here. You'll get some pretty dedicated ATC, since there's not a whole lot else going on right now. It's weird to send people to Unicom when they're landing at Buttonville, I'll say that much. I learned to fly at Buttonville. I'm used to that place having a control tower, being a controlled airport at least all day long. Actually, it was closed between the hours of 11 p.m. and, was it 6 a.m. or 7? I feel like it was 6 a.m. was when the tower opened. The tower was open from 6 to 11. And, yeah, just weird that there's no control tower anymore. Weird that it's an uncontrolled airport now. I mean, I have not been there personally in 8 years, I think. 8-9 years I have since I flew there last, so it's been a long time, unfortunately. But still, nevertheless, it's a bit of a pity. It's not a bad airport. It's very quiet now. I understand why there's no control tower. There used to be 3 different flight schools there. 4 different flights. 3 different flight schools there. And when that was the case, it was a very busy airport. It was for many years, it was in the top 10 busiest airports in Canada when you measured the number of aircraft movements, just because there was so much flight training. There were so many.
Toronto Center, November Foxtrot Lima Romeo request.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, go ahead.
I'd like to go up to 4,500 if you could, Foxtrot.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger, 4,500, climb at your discretion.
Up to 4,500 and climb at discretion, Foxtrot Lima.
Mr. Z German wants some tips on getting started in VATSIM. You know, honestly, VATSIM has got some really good resources to give you some of the most basic stuff. I'm trying to remember where it is right now, but VATSIM does have some really good basic pilot resources. YouTube is also a great place to start. You know, my suggestion is, honestly, if you've got 30 minutes right now, boot up a sim right now, come to Toronto and fly right now. And that's not just a shameless plug. It is a little bit of a shameless plug, but come fly. And the best thing you can do is, as I pointed out here, who was it here? Air Canada 168 here. He's gone now. There he is. In the remarks section of your flight plan, don't be afraid to put something like what Air Canada 168 has put here. Air Canada 168, he wrote, "Hello, I'm a newbie on VATSIM. Please speak and report slowly. Thank you." And you don't have to be that explicit, but you can just put, you can even just put, literally just put newbie. You know, please be kind, or be gentle. Something, anything. But if you put it in the remarks section of your flight plan when you go to file your flight plan, it just makes controllers aware of that you're new to VATSIM, and hopefully they'll go a little slower. They'll be a little bit more they'll certainly be more understanding if you make a mistake, and they'll be more than willing to help you perhaps learn, so that in the future you won't make those kind of mistakes. It's always an educational process, so don't be afraid to get on here. You hear these guys who've been doing this for years, and they rattle off clearances and chat with each other, like crazy, and they, that came with practice. They were not always like that. The guys who really know how to talk to ATC, they were not really like that. When I first talked to ATC 20-something years ago, I was nervous as anything, but practice makes perfect. You can watch all sorts of YouTube videos in my channel. There, I've got a couple of guides to flying on VATSIM. There's one where I just basically do circuits in Chicago. I do 2 circuits in Chicago just to sort of explain what I'm doing, how to talk to ATC. The biggest tip I'll say is put a remark in there that says that you're a newbie. The other thing I'll say is if you don't understand something, don't be afraid to ask. And if you're afraid to ask on frequency, go into the private chat. If you don't know how to do that, I can explain it to you. But go into private chat and ask for, and just say, hey, what does this mean, or can you explain it a little better? We kind of assume people have a certain amount of knowledge when they come in, but we're very forgiving if you don't. Just say it. If you don't understand what's being asked of you, just say it. Nobody's going to get mad, nobody's going to get upset, but it just helps us to know. The most important thing is communication. So yeah, if you don't understand something, just say it.
Air Sprint 42 down and clear Buttonville.
Air Sprint 42 Toronto, thank you very much. Your flight plan is now closed and alerting services are terminated. Have yourself a good night. We'll see you next time.
And you, thank you.
So yeah, if you've got half an hour right now, boot up your sim, come to Toronto, fly at Toronto City or Buttonville or any of the other airports.
Toronto Center, this is November 1253. I'm going to hand you off to my training.
November 1253, Roger. Yeah. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You will make mistakes. I make mistakes even when I've been doing this for 20 years. You'll pick up the pieces and you'll just move on. But yeah, come and log in right now. I don't have a whole lot of traffic, so I can give you a lot of attention and answer any questions you have along the way too. Especially if you're already good with the airplanes too. It's tough to learn ATC and flying at the same time, but if you're comfortable with flying an airplane, then picking up ATC, it's another skill like anything else, like learning to navigate, like learning how to fly IFR, learning how to fly a new type of airplane. It's a different skill to learn, and it gets better with practice. I have not personally had experience with VATSTAR, but I have heard good things about them, that they do their pilot training program and they teach people who know very little about flying how to fly. I think it's as much focused on the actual nuts and bolts of how to fly an airplane, which may or may not be really relevant to you. I'm just wondering why I keep seeing all these show squawk standby aircraft. Let's see if I can turn that off. There we go. Yeah, I've heard good things about VATSTAR. I don't know if they're more focused on teaching you how to actually fly the airplane, or if it's more about how to fly in the VATSIM system. Or maybe a little bit of both, I guess. I'm just having a quick...
Toronto Pearson clearance delivery. This is November 1253 with information Mike requesting VFR to Toronto City Center.
November 1253, Toronto, good evening. You can expect runway 24 right for departure and squawk code 1235.
Squawk 1235, runway of departure 24 right.
November 1253, that's correct. The information is Mike. Toronto altimeter is 3001. And the winds are 310 at 19 gust 26. Advise me when you're ready for taxi.
Copy that, November 1253.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about VATSTAR is they'll...
Toronto Center, November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo request.
November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo, good?
Okay, if I step away from the flight deck here for a minute.
November Foxtrot, Lima Romeo, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
I will advise one back. Foxtrot, Lima Romeo, thank you.
Yeah, I think VATSTAR does teach you about VATSIM as well. I was about to just pull up from my list here. Because I did a video that I hope would help you out. It was a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. If I can go back in here. Yeah, here we are. This is what I'm looking for.
Pearson Ground, this is November 1253, requesting taxi clearance to the active runway of 24 right.
November 1253, Toronto, runway 24 right. Information now, November. Altimeter 3004. Taxi through the apron at your discretion. Echo Alpha, Echo, and Charlie. Hold short, runway 24 right. Advise ready for takeoff.
Roger that. November 1253, Echo Alpha, Echo, and finally Charlie.
Raj. So there's the first of the 2-part video I did on flying a circuit in VATSIM. A lot of talking, a lot of kind of explaining things. You may be able to skip through some of the stuff if you already understand all about altimeter settings and things like that. But I really kind of I did that with the idea of someone who knew very little about flying and you know, if you fly Flight Simulator but you don't necessarily set up real weather, you don't need to worry too much about what the altimeter setting is. But if you go on VATSIM, you've got to know how to set your own altimeter setting, how to set your transponder, and all that good stuff. So check out that video if you haven't seen it before. And like I said, come on down, and you can log into Toronto Pearson, although that's a pretty complicated airport. If you can, I recommend Toronto City's a little easier, or Hamilton, London, Kitchener, any of the other towered airports around Toronto would also be equally good to log in as. I'm glad to be of service, and you know, like, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because I put out all sorts of videos. I try to help people. I'm just watching this guy taxi here. Sorry if I'm sounding a little distracted here. He looked like he was turning onto Tango, and now he's just taxiing through the grass. So good times. But this is what happens on VATSIM. I mean, you know what? It's fine. We're all here. It's just a hobby, just here to have fun. So it's not, you know, I try not to get frustrated when silly little things happen. You just have to laugh about it. It's just, you know, we're all here to have fun. I probably don't need this London airport diagram anymore. Just going to save it really quickly here, and then I'm going to close it. I'm just surprised at how little traffic there is in Toronto for Friday night. There's a few people that are inbound. He said he was going to City Centre, didn't he? Oh, your base is Goderich. Well, I mean, you can come to Goderich, but the only trouble with Goderich is, of course, it's an uncontrolled airport, so you won't be talking to me until you get off the ground. So if you want to do that, that would be fine. But I just might suggest, if you want to get used to the ATC part of VATSIM, start out at a controlled airport and just do a couple of circuits. Just do some circuits just to get used to it. Just to get used to talking to a controller and communicating, and even just doing circuits, you'll get it's very repetitive as far as the flying is concerned, but you'll get the hang of the communication a lot faster that way.
Toronto, good evening, American 3207, 360.
American 3207 Toronto. I think I see you there at 360. Are you inbound to Yark right now?
Negative, we're en route to O'Hare.
And American 3207. Yeah, your next fix, I think, on your flight plan there is that you on your way to Yark, Yankee Alpha Romeo Romeo Kilo.
Stand by,
You have a flight plan showing what, sir?
American 3207. No, I think I see where you are there. You're going to be clear of my airspace, so you can remain on Unicom 122.8.
Okay, we appreciate it. 2280, and enjoy the rest of the night. We'll see you for 3207.
3207, have a good night. We get that a lot with people who are passing just south of our airspace. See the frequency. It's hard to sometimes tell where the border is, and I don't mind people calling and asking if they're on the right frequency. I don't mind that at all. Let's see how this guy's doing. Oh, he's doing good. He's getting there. Pearson's a complicated airport to taxi around, and especially in a smaller airplane where you don't even have a good overview, where you're so close to the pavement you can't even see the next taxiway barely because you're just so close to the ground. Taxiing around there in a 747 is a lot easier when you're 50 feet above the ground. You get this bird's eye view of the taxiways, but down there close to the ground, it could be easy to get lost. I could probably give not above. Normally I give not above 1,500, but frankly there's no traffic. I'll give not above 2,500, I guess. Surprisingly quiet. Come on, guys, give me some traffic. November 1253 Toronto, are you ready?
November 1253, yes, we are ready.
November 1253 Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. Winds are 350, 15 gusts 21. Actually, sorry. Let me try that again. November 1253, left turnout is approved, not above 2,500 feet. Winds 350, 15 gusts 21. Clear for takeoff, runway 24 right.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24 right, November 1253. After departure, turn left and not above 2,500 feet.
United 182 Heavy Toronto, are you here? Oh, we're going to have one airplane fly through our airspace anyways. Surprisingly quiet. I was hoping for a little more activity on a Friday night. I really honestly was. This is way less than I was expecting. November 1253 Toronto, roger. You are identified. And the Toronto City altimeter is 3005, runway 26.
Copy that, November 1253, runway 26, Toronto City Center.
What can you do? Should have done the stream last night. I was on last night and there was quite a lot more traffic in Toronto than there is tonight. Normal for a Friday? Normal for a Friday would be just like at least a steady stream of departures and arrivals. Not necessarily busy, but like most of the time there would be, oh, there's one finally. Most of the time there would be 1 or 2 or 3 airplanes on the ground in Toronto sort of getting ready to go. You'd probably get at least one departure every 10 to 15 minutes. They'd probably come in more ways more than that, but yeah, you'd have at least certainly you'd have 5 or 6 arrivals per hour, 5 or 6 departures per hour, and probably more than that even. That's kind of at least a typical evening. You get at least a half a dozen airplanes going each way per hour, and tonight it just looks like there's almost nothing. But we do have one departure now. There he is, parked at the gate in Toronto, WestJet 1324. Where's he going? He's going to Louisville. Exit 6, Gentry transition, runway 23 for departure, and there's a squawk code. Alright, now ready to give him a flight plan whenever he calls up. United 182 Heavy, Toronto, are you here? Definitely I would expect to see more than this, but I would also expect to see, this is the other funny thing, is I would expect to see more controllers online on a Friday night. For the last little while, Toronto has always been a very busy place, and to not see anybody almost at all online controller-wise is surprising. And calling Toronto Center, I hear the push to talk working, but I'm not getting, but it's just intermittent. Nope, what happened to my 123? We lost him. 1253, where'd he go?
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Lima Romeo, back with you.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, roger, thank you. And Foxtrot Lima Romeo en route, altimeter for you from Hamilton, 3005.
3005, Foxtrot Lima Romeo, thank you.
WestJet 1324 radio check.
WestJet 1324 Toronto, I'll read you 5x5. I lost my 1253. He was there, but he's gone. Well, looks like Airsprint 43 is planning to get out of Buttonville, which is great. November 1253 Toronto, are you still there? Well, we got a little bit of traffic there. November 1253 Toronto. Love these people who log into VATSIM, take off, and then just walk away from their computer. I know it's a long flight to Frankfurt. I know it is, but if you're not going to be at the computer, disconnect. It's the middle of the evening in North America. You got to expect that there's going to be controllers coming and going the whole time. This guy left Denver, so he's been online for... Yeah, he's left Denver, so he's probably been online for about 3 hours already. But I've just looked at the VATSPY window, like he's crossed through quite a few different sectors. He's got to think that there's people online. It bugs me when people do that.
Radio check.
And calling for radio check, read me 5x5.
This is November 1283. Sorry, our game crashed out.
November 1253, no problem. I think I see you again, but your transponder turned off. Can you just turn it back on again, please?
Yep, we'll turn the transponder back on.
There he is. And November 1253. I see you, I believe, at 1500, squawking 1200. Squawk 1235.
Squawk 1235, we'll hand you back over to our training.
Thank you. November 1253, Toronto. You're cleared the right base, runway 26. And are you full stop for this landing?
Yes, November 1253.
November 1253, roger. Winds at City 320, 13 gust 19, and the altimeter is 3005. You're clear to land, runway 26.
November 1253, clear to land, runway 26.
Alright, so this Air Sprint guy is leaving. Let's have a quick look at his flight plan. It looks pretty good. Ooh. Oh yeah, no, his... Yep, 430 is correct. Yep. I'm not used to people flying above our VSM airspace. Not at all. So 430 is correct for the direction of flight. Yep, okay, that's good. All right. I'm just going to keep sending this guy. Contact me every...
Toronto Center, Air Sprint 43.
Air Sprint 43, Toronto Center. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Toronto Center, Air Sprint 43 on the ground at Buttonville, looking to pick up clearance to Winnipeg.
Air Sprint 43, Toronto. You are cleared to Winnipeg via the GoPup Tree departure, slap transition, flight plan route. Departure runway is 33 and squawk code 05 Tree.
Okay, cleared to Winnipeg via GoPup 3 departure, slap, flight plan route, runway 330533 on the squawk, Air Sprint 43.
Air Sprint 43, your readback is all correct. And your clearance is valid now. Cancel if not airborne by 0400 Zulu.
Okay, cancel by 0400 Zulu, Air Sprint 43.
Air Sprint 43, thank you. You can switch back to Unicom 122.8 for the departure. Give me a call this frequency, airborne.
Okay, Unicom for the departure. I'll call you in there, Air Sprint 43.
Okay, looks like we got a ground controller in Toronto, so we got somebody here at least. Good times. Alright, so... November 1253, welcome to back to Toronto City. Right turn on Foxtrot and taxi into the apron. Have a good night.
Right turn on Foxtrot and onto the general aviation apron. Have a nice day.
Good evening, Toronto Center, Charlie Papa Lima 07, Pearson, looking to pick up my IFR.
Charlie Papa Lima 07, Toronto. I don't see a flight plan on file for you, so if you can go ahead and just refile that one more time. And Toronto Ground just logged on as well, so give him a call at 121.65 for the clearance.
Perfect. I'll give 12165 the call, and yes, I didn't file it. It's just sitting in my flight plan, so I'll file that, and I'll quote contact ground, Charlie Papa Lima 07.
Roger. All right, there we go. It's getting a little bit busier in Toronto, so you have a little bit of patience, and stuff does actually happen. So we got a couple of flights on the ground now in Toronto. Wow. There we go. We got four, well, this 1253 is actually on the ground at City, but we got 3 departures out of Pearson right now, so that's not bad. There you go. We're actually going to have some activity here. So once you get you just got to be online for long enough. You got to be a little bit patient, I guess, is the other thing too. I easily lose my patience sometimes when there's just nothing happening. I thought that I'd lose my patience. I just get bored. I frankly get bored. November Fox Lima Romeo Toronto. Descend now 2,500 VFR.
Down to 2,500. November Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger. The city altimeter 3006, and the winds there are 330 at 10, gusting 17. You can expect runway 26.
All right, we'll expect runway 26, altimeter 3006. Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
Here we go. I'm actually getting just a little.
Toronto Center, I'll be logging off.
Number 1253, Toronto Roger. Have yourself a good night. We'll see you next time.
I have a good night for that.
All right, I'm just getting just a little bit hungry and a little bit thirsty, so I'm going to go grab myself something quickly to eat and or drink. I've just got this one guy in the city, so I should be able to step away for about 2 minutes here, and then we'll come back and resume what we're doing here. All right, guys. I'm back in the back on the scope here. Just had to get myself a little bit of a little drink there. So now it's starting to shape up a little bit busier. We'll see how fast these departures get off the ground in Toronto, but we now have 4 airplanes on the ground in Toronto getting ready to leave, which is much better than it was just a few minutes ago. And it's amazing how quickly the tide can turn in VATSIM when you get a few people online. It's amazing how fast all of a sudden traffic levels can build up. We actually have 5 airplanes on the ground here. Somebody here does not have their flight plan filed. I only have 4 flight plans filed, but I got 5 airplanes on the ground here. Here's an OFP for Air Canada 4076. We got 5 airplanes getting ready to go, as well as the one out of Buttonville. So now it's about to get a little more interesting in the next little while. We're actually going to have some people to talk to, which is great because nobody's chatting with me in my stream, so that's okay. Another one. Yeah, okay, so now we got all 5 of these airplanes. So we got 1 Buttonville departure here. And we got the other 4 here. This Buttonville departure, he's got 11 more minutes. I gave him until 0400 Zulu, then his flight plan will expire. Got a non-conformer, somebody who wants to somebody who wants to depart an inactive runway, which is, again, is also something that is more than acceptable, especially because it's not busy. We can totally accommodate that. Foxtrot Lima Romeo Toronto, cleared left downwind, runway 26 at City.
Left downwind 26, Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
Just going to pull up the ATIS on my other.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Lima Romeo Pirate.
Pirate. Ooh. Foxtrot Lima Romeo Toronto, go ahead.
Experiencing some light to moderate turbulence on my location. Thought I'll let you know. It's almost on the brisk of being severe.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger. Did you want to continue descent? Altitude, I tell you what, you can remain 2,500 or below.
All right, we'll remain 2,500 or below. It was a little nicer, a little higher up, but I think we should be okay for Foxtrot.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger. Let me know when it calms down a little bit again for you.
All right, we'll advise you when it calms for Foxtrot.
Sounds like Toronto switched to 3-3 right. So yeah. Sounds like in the real world they switched to 3-3 right in Toronto. When I first checked, when I first logged on, they were using the configuration I've got here, which is 2-3 departures, 2-4 right arrivals. So maybe we'll do a little runway change here. It's going to make my ground controller work, but what the heck. Let's make him do the work. Oh, I'm a bit mean like that, I guess, aren't I? Because it affects it more than me.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Lima Romeo is a little more calm here for us now, and we're going to descend down to 1,500 if you're okay with that.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, that's fine by me, and thank you for the report. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Let's see if we got PIREP. 15 miles west of Toronto, type -8 reported moderate clear icing at 7,000. Let's see what he's got here. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna do a little runway change here. So we gotta just cycle this up here.
Toronto Center, Air Sprint 43 off Buttonville, climbing 32 fast.
Air Sprint 43 Toronto, West Guacadent. Can't presume.
Air Sprint 43.
Air Sprint 43, thank you. You're identified. Climb 1,000.
1,000, Air Sprint 43.
Oh, I think the United finally logged off. He got the hint. For like the 17th, contact me. And this guy, this did not seem to recognize his flight plan properly. Ugh. Which is annoying. Air Sprint 43, turn left direct, go pup, and climb flight level 230.
Left go up, climb 230, air sprint 43.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Toronto, the city winds are showing 010 at 8 gust 19. Clear to land runway 26.
Clear to land 26, Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
And air sprint 43. You're probably passing through it now, but there was a pi rep. Oh, let's see here. This was an hour ago by a Dash 8, 15 miles west of Toronto, reported moderate clear icing at 7,000.
Oh, that's good to know. Thanks for that, air sprint 43.
Air sprint 43, no problem.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Lima Romeo. I kind of drifted off here on the downwind. If you want me to continue, I can, but I'd like to get myself set up again if I could.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo, yeah, how did you want to set yourself up? Do you want to just break off for a right downwind this time, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe breaking off over the city and then rejoining again if I could.
Yeah, Foxtrot Lima Romeo, that's approved, and you're cleared to join a right base runway 26.
Right base 26, Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
I thought it looked like he had drifted almost right over the the runway. I got a couple other things going on, so I didn't want to be too much of a...
Hello again, Toronto Center. Charlie Papa Lima 07. I'm holding short 23 Toronto, ready for takeoff. Charlie Papa Lima 07.
Charlie Papa Lima 07, Toronto, contact me once you're airborne. The winds, Toronto 350, 15 gust 21, clear for takeoff, runway 23.
Clear for takeoff. I'll call you again when I'm in the air, Charlie Papa Lima 07.
All right, so he's in the air. Everybody else is going to taxi out for departure 33 right. Oh, and here's another one. Now they're just popping on the ground like crazy. Thank you. It only took how long has the stream been on for? It only took streaming for an hour and 16 minutes to get 6 airplanes to log on. Never fails. That's all right. And Foxtrot Lima Romeo Toronto again. The winds at City are 2. Oh, I lost it here. All right, Foxtrot Lima Romeo. The winds at City are 010 at 8 gust 19. You're clear to land, runway 26.
Clear to land 26, Foxtrot Lima Romeo. Thanks for your help.
All right, looks like we got a departure controller as well, which is going to take away half my fun now. Oh well. We'll just get this CPL guy airborne, and then we'll start dealing with the quick position change. I guess we can probably actually All right, I'm going to deal with a quick position change here. So stand by. Hey. Charlie Papa Lima 07, and Toronto Departure actually just logged on, so give him a call now, 128.8.
and Toronto Center, Foxtrot, Lima Romeo is clear ball line, runway going off.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger, taxi in the apron, your discretion. Have a good night.
Have a good night. I'll see you in a little bit. I'll be doing the return flight soon.
Foxtrot Lima Romeo Roger. When you do, departure actually just logged on in Toronto, so 128.8, give him a call when you're ready for taxi out of city.
128.8. Thank you so much, sir. Foxtrot Lima Romeo.
No problem.
And for executed 652, do we go to Toronto departure as well?
ExecJet 652, yes. Are you holding short of runway 33 right?
Negative. We're on the ground at city at apron. We're just wondering who to call for clearance.
ExecJet 652, that's correct. You can call Toronto departure on 128.8, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Yeah, thanks. See you in a bit. ExecJet 652.
Airsprint 43, Toronto. Continue climb, flight level 430.
Climb 430, Airsprint 43.
Okay. Here we go. I lost some of my airspace, but then I gained lots of traffic. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, right? It's getting a little bit busier. The United finally took the hint and decided to log off. Let's see. We got one inbound to Toronto, halfway here from Louisville.
Hello again, Toronto Center. Charlie Papa Lima 07. Direct Oakville climbing 12,000 to 15,000. Charlie Papa Lima.
Charlie Papa Lima 07, Toronto. Hello again. Climb flight level 180.
Flight level 180, Charlie Papa Lima 07.
There we go. Lost a little bit of our excitement not having departure, but anyways, because that's probably the more interesting part where you actually get to vector people around, but so be it. Looks like ground got busy. There we go. We got an ATIS at Toronto City. It's Alpha, but hey, it's an ATIS nevertheless. Good times. I do like this changed airspace diagram that they have now too here. This was recently updated in Toronto, and the blank space where the terminal unit is, like, you can't see really anything going on in the terminal unit because it's really not your airspace if you're an en route controller anyways. So that's, you know, realistic. And I kind of like it because it kind of reminds you to actually switch to a more local, more detailed view when you want to see what's actually happening within the terminal unit. And this is actually no longer the right view because we are now operating on the 33s, which means you should use that view because this was for the 2-4 right configuration. So there we go. That's the way. That's the correct airspace configuration for Toronto now. Where's this guy going? He's going to, is that Tokyo? That's going to be a long flight. Excellent, though. All right. It's not particularly busy. Toronto is an interesting sector too. It's one of those. It's kind of almost like, I hate to use the word an edge sector, but it is really sort of like the edge of some of the really dense traffic. You don't get too much traffic going north per se. You get some transpolar routes, but you don't get too much traffic going north. You get a lot of east, west, south traffic out of Toronto. East, west, south, north, you don't usually get very much. In the real world, there is some. There are some northern destinations here, Timmins, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, places like that, North Bay, where you do get some regular traffic too. But certainly the VATSIM world, those airports are very underutilized. Where's this envoy going? He's going to DFW, so he's definitely gonna turn away from us. CPL overshot its altitude by a little bit, but seems to be coming back now.
Good evening, parking 15,000 for flight level 230.
Clipper 590 Heavy, Toronto, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 380.
Level 380, Clipper 590 Heavy.
Clipper, it's not a call sign you hear very much anymore. I love it though. Doesn't have too much of a turn in my airspace, so get a little higher. Yeah, not a whole lot going on here though. Sometimes this could be a very busy sector, especially this section, the southern portion here. You'll get crossing traffic from America going to other places, as well as inbounds to and from Toronto, but the Canadian airports are just dead tonight. Normally Toronto, Montreal, generally pretty busy. To see almost no traffic out there, it's fairly surprising. I almost wonder if I should have picked a different sector today. Looks like Edmonton is busier than Toronto is. Should have logged in Edmonton. You never know. Still providing good service to people who are here, so it's not like there's nobody here at all. I am still providing service to some people. It's a weird thing on VATSIM. You kind of want, as controllers, you want to see a whole bunch of airplanes because it just makes it more interesting. It makes the time go by quickly when there's lots of stuff happening. When it's quiet, the shifts go by. The shifts seem to go by very slowly. Especially when everything is organized and easy and everything is done here. There's no conflicts at all. Everyone's just flying outbound from Toronto. Very few conflicts at all here. I have one inbound to Toronto. We'll eventually get that VFR back out of the city, but basically all the interesting stuff is happening within Toronto, and now we're sort of cut off and isolated from that. I almost want to tune in their radios just to see what's going on down there, because it's, for me, it's quite boring. There's not much happening on my frequency, so let's go ahead and tune in some other frequencies and see what's happening here. So now I got the departure and ground frequencies up. That should make things a little more interesting. Charlie Papa Lima 07, Toronto, you're now clearing my airspace to the south. Cleveland's not online. Switch to Unicom 122.8 and have a good rest of your day.
122.8, Charlie Papa Lima 07. Thanks for your help. You have a good night.
Good night.
Toronto Center, Quebec Air 101 with you, flight level 390.
Quebec Air 101, Toronto Center, good evening, Squawk Cadet. Come on, show me the ident. There it is.
Squawking ident, Quebec Air 101.
Quebec Air 101, Toronto Center, thank you. Identified, flight level 390. Information in Toronto is Oscar. You can plan an ILS to runway 33 right.
Landing 33 right, Quebec Air 101.
Toronto ground, WestJet 1324, holding short 33 right on Victor.
WestJet 1524, contact departure at 128.8, have a nice flight.
At least there's a little bit more background noise there now.
WestJet 1324, thank you for your service. Good night.
Is this the night shift officially now? Starting at 11 p.m., I guess. That's when I'm already starting to think about wrapping up my shift. Between 11 and 12, I'll probably wrap up my shift at some point. If it gets busy, though, I may stay on for a little while longer.
Good evening, Washington 1324, with your holding short 33 right on Victor.
404, negative 128 decimal. Washington 1324, departure, good evening, wind 350.
Monty Pilot, you're going to jump on out of city to Quebec City in a minute. That's great. I always welcome the traffic. And it's a little bit of shameless self-promotion, I think, just streaming on live streaming here. It lures people in to know that there's a controller here, and I can give you a realistic estimate that my personal plan is to probably stay until about 5 Zulu. So that's my personal plan right now, is to be on here till about 5 Zulu, and then I'll probably log off round about then. But if you can get in and through the airspace in that time, welcome aboard. I look forward to the more traffic, the merrier. I like a busy frequency. I like a busy radio. I like a busy airspace. And speaking of busy, pardon me. Speaking of busy frequencies and busy airspace, Across the Pond has been officially announced by VATSIM for this spring. April the 24th, I believe, is the Saturday. It's going to be Across the Pond. I believe it's westbound this time. Actually, I have to check to be certain, but I think it's westbound. So I think it starts in Europe and goes to North America. So as always, this is going to be busy for Canada, no matter where it falls. Yeah, westbound, 2021. So yeah, Saturday, April 24th, 2021. It's about 49 days away. So start thinking about it now, guys. Get ready to start voting for your airports, because I'm sure airport voting is going to be open within the next 2 weeks, I would think. Toronto could always use your support, but there's tons of other good airports out there that also would be happy to see them participate. I love Toronto, obviously, but but happy to see anybody participate. So I'm looking forward to that. I will probably be live streaming that on this channel, hopefully. Depends on where I end up to. Every once in a while I get drafted into doing traffic management role, which is not particularly exciting from a streaming standpoint. It really is just sort of a lot of running back and talking to people and making sure that everybody is happy with what's going on. So that's not a particularly exciting role, but it's crucial. It's a behind-the-scenes role that makes sure that things happen the way they're supposed to.
4076 into taxi.
Passing altitude.
4,606
vehicle first, squawk with Charlie. Yeah, West at 1324, thanks are identified. Turn left, direct to Mixit on course, climb 15,000.
Left, direct, Mexit on course, climb 15,000, West at 1324.
Yeah, Roger.
All right.
Charlie, Air Canada, 4076.
Air Canada 4076, thank you. Runway 33 right, altimeter 3004.
Canada 404 departure.
Kilo Bravo Victor, hold short 33 right.
Quebec Air 101 Heavy, when ready, descend flight level 310.
4076, runway 33 right, altimeter 8046 right, Alpha, Kilo Bravo Victor, hold on 33 right, Air Canada 4076.
EPS 1201, requested clearance to Montreal.
EPS
A whole bunch of airplanes now on the ground in various airports in Toronto. So takes a little while to get these guys airborne, but something to look forward to.
I didn't clear you for takeoff yet.
Someone's trying to take off without being cleared. That's good. That's always good.
Okay, we're ready to go. 33 right, Air Canada 404.
Sir, could you repeat the clearance for EPS 1201? You were kind of breaking up for us.
Air Canada 404, wind 350 at 15, gust 21, clear for takeoff 33 right.
Migla transition flight planned route, departure runway 33 right, squawk 6235.
All right. Let's see here. Sprint 43 here.
EPS 1201 is cleared to the Montreal Airport via runway 33
It's a long
right
way for him to go
departure.
to slot before he turns northbound, so he's going to be through Cleveland's airspace for a while.
6235 and the dead key 4 on the dead key 4 departure and the Maglo.
Departure Canada 404. Airborne officer, right climbing through 1000.
That is correct. Push and start at your discretion. Correct
Again, 404 identified. Maintain present heading. Climb flight level 230.
230 and present heading for Air Canada 404.
Right.
Exit jet 652 is ready for taxi.
Yep.
Taxi jet
Comes another airplane.
2, runway 08, altimeter 3006.
These guys should be
taxi
fairly
Alpha.
separate, yeah. Somewhat parallel.
Taxi to runway 08 via Alpha, altimeter 3006.
They should not get too close to each other, at least on that trajectory.
1324, contact center 12577. Good day.
12577, watch jet 1324. Good night.
Air Canada 404, turn right direct, dead key on course.
Right direct dead key, Air Canada 404.
Okay, WestJet, you call me anytime now? Anytime now?
Air Canada 4076, you're going in the wrong direction. You need
Flippers
to go
leveling
south
off.
on Bravo, not north.
My bad. We'll only go 180. Actually, further running.
Toronto Center, watch jet 1324, with you climbing 15,000.
And exit jet 652.
WestJet 1324, Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 230.
We'll squawk more Charlie now, exit jet 652.
Continue climb flight level 230, watch jet 1324.
Now, the challenge, of course, is trying to pick the communications for your frequency out of all the multiple communications when you've got multiple channels open. That can be a challenge. Anticipation helps in that case. You sort of know what people are supposed to be saying. It kind of helps in that case. But Air Sprint 43 Toronto. You're leaving my airspace now to the west. Cleveland's not online. You could switch to Unicom 122.8 and Minneapolis Center is online. You won't hit them till after slap. You can give them a try whenever you like, though, on 133.4.
76, now you're on Alpha.
Alright, you're over Unicom. Thanks for helping. I'll see you next time. Air Sprint 43.
G'day.
Okay, we'll take the next right on and get on Bravo for further traffic.
All right. Quebec Air 101 Heavy Toronto. When ready, continue descent, flight level 240.
240, Quebec Air 101.
Still got 4 airplanes on the ground waiting to depart, and 2 at Toronto City, so definitely enough to keep life interesting.
Exit jet 652, wind 330 at 14, gusting 20, clear for takeoff, runway 08.
Clear for takeoff, runway 08, exit jet 652.
Wind shifted around a little bit at City, so they're favoring 08 now. An hour ago, they were favoring 26. Well, I certainly am excited about the idea of cross the pond anyways. Still almost 2 months off, but that 2 months will come pretty quick. WestJet 1324, continue climb, flight level 360.
Air Canada 355 radio check. Air Canada 355, total ground, VG5.
WestJet 1324, continue climb, flight level 360.
Climbing flight level
Air Canada 4076, contact departure at 128.8,
now we got
flight.
Departure, bye-bye.
I think the Quebec Air started down too soon. He needs to be about 11.
Departure, Canada 4076 for runway 33 right at Victor.
So 13.
Aircan 4076, departure
340.
wind 360 at 15, gusting 22, clear for takeoff, runway 33 right.
Clear for takeoff, runway 33 right, Air Canada 4076.
And exit jet 652 is airborne, passing through 2500.
Exit jet 652 identified, turn right heading 150, climb 15,000.
Right heading 150, climb 15,000, exit jet 652.
Yeah, right. Air Canada 404, contact center 12577, good night.
12577, good night, Air Canada 404.
Now we got a nice.
NX Jet 652, continue right turn, direct and call on course.
We got a nice steady stream of departures now.
On course, exit jet 652.
Roger.
Oh, ExacJet's going to Chicago. Okay. Yeah, it's the other one that's going eastbound to Quebec. As you can see, Clipper's just reaching the top of my south screen, but he's still got a long way to go on the north screen.
Good day, it's Air Canada 404, climbing flight level 170 for flight level 230.
Air Canada 404 Toronto, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 370. Proceed direct Miglo on course.
370 direct Miglo, Canada 404.
I noticed that the AirSprint 43 squawked ident a minute or two ago, and Minneapolis has already tagged him up there. I wasn't sure if Minneapolis would take him because he's going straight east-south of their airspace. This is their airspace.
Air Canada 4076, when able, say altitude.
North of the north of this line here. That's Minneapolis airspace, and AirSprint's going all the way to this point before he turns north, so I wasn't sure.
Air Canada 4076 identified. Turn right direct dead
I wasn't
key
sure
on
if he was
course,
going to get
climb
turned
flight
there.
level 230.
That was a fake handoff.
Dead key up to flight level 230. Position.
230.
230, kind of position.
Correct.
Wait, Air Canada 406, my apologies. Could you repeat that altitude one more time?
Yeah, flight level 230.
230, Air Canada 406.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see, the other thing about Toronto's airspace is that it's so generally well designed that the departures and the arrivals generally have very few conflicts. The all the departures here are these blue dashed lines. I don't know how well you can really see them on the stream, but these blue dashed lines are all the Toronto departures, and then the arrivals are these very faint green dotted lines that are really kind of hard to see.
And ExitJet 652, contact center now, 12577. Have a good night.
But they're very much designed to not conflict. They're designed to fly parallel to each other. So really, especially for people departing and arriving Toronto on the SIDS and Stars, they are so far apart from each other. They're so well separated from each other. You need to take very little action as a controller usually to keep them apart, because these the whole thing basically runs itself.
Center, hello, can ExitJet 652 reaching 15,000.
ExitJet 652 Toronto, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 400.
Running climb, Category 400, ExitJet 652.
Quebec Air 101 Toronto, descend 12,000, the Toronto altimeter 3004.
Descending 12,000, Quebec Air 101.
Clippers disappeared off the screen to the north, but it's there to the south. I probably don't need this city view open, but it's nice to have it, just to see what's going on, especially because I'm listening to the other frequencies. I'm going to keep that open for a little while longer, because it's kind of nice to have the multiple Toronto frequencies open, and I have a good sense of what's going on now in different parts of Toronto. A little bit of behind the scenes coordination to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. It really helps out. This guy is on his way to Canton Akron, just departed Buffalo.
Air Canada 4076, contact center now, 12577. Good night.
Center, please.
See.
Okay.
Center Air Canada 4076, passing 8,000, flight level 230.
Air Canada 4076 Toronto Center, good evening again. Continue climb, flight level 310.
310, Air Canada 4076, hello.
ExitJet 652, proceed direct Durlow.
ExitJet 652.
I think he's already pretty much direct Durlow. WestJet 1324 Toronto, you're leaving my airspace to the south. Cleveland's not online. Switch to Unicom 122.8, your service terminates. Have a good night.
122.8 for WestJet 1324, thank you for the service. Have a good night.
Good night. Air Canada 4076, proceed direct Miglo on course.
Parking Big Lower, Toronto 4076.
Because departure's online but arrival is not, we still have to handle this arrival pretty much all the way to the ground here. What is he? He's at 3:30. Yeah.
Toronto Center, Station Foxtrot Lima, Whiskey Romeo, 80 nautical miles southwest of London VOR, flight level 320.
Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, Toronto Center. Good evening, Squawk Cadet. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, Toronto, thank you. You're identified descending through flight level 314. Descend flight level 240. London winds are 330, 10 gusts 16. And the altimeter 3009er, plan runway 33.
Pick up IFR to Quebec City.
Time runway 33 and descend flight level 240.
Charlie Bravo, Lima Bravo, departure. Good evening. Are you able to accept the Beaumont 7 departure with the IPTOS transition?
Stand by for Charlie Bravo, Lima Bravo.
Alright, so let's see here. Now I gotta pull up the...
Charlie, ground, KF 355, 5,000 ready to copy, enable.
Oops. I believe London only has an hour and after 33 now.
To Chicago O'Hare via GoPuff 3 departure hockey transition flight plan route. Depart runway 33 right, squawk 6354.
KF 355, clear the Chicago Airport via GoPuff 3 hockey transition.
Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, Toronto. Continue descent 5,000 on Toronto altimeter, correction, on London altimeter 3009er. And which approach did you want for runway 33?
The 355 read back is correct. Push and start at your discretion. Current information.
Descend 5,000 Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo and the RNAV Zulu for 33 with straight for us.
Bravo, go ahead.
Lima Whiskey Romeo, Roger. You can plan the RNAV Zulu 33.
Bravo.
Sign RNAV Zulu 33, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey
Bravo Lima Bravo. You're cleared to Quebec via the Beaumont 7 departure.
Quebec Air 101, heavy, continue descent 8,000.
Agluck, flight plan route.
8,000, Quebec Air 101.
Depart runway 08, squawk 2270.
Alright, Bravo Lima Bravo, cleared to Bravo Lima Bravo, cleared to Quebec via the Beaumont 7, IPTOS transition and direct Agluck, then en route, runway 8 and squawk 2270.
Bravo Lima Bravo, read back correct. Push and start your discretion. Call for taxi. Information Bravo.
Information Bravo and call for the taxi. Charlie Bravo Lima Bravo, thanks.
For all aircraft monitoring ground station, ground is now closed, but tower will be up in 10 seconds.
And exit 65 has a request.
Quebec Air 101, proceed direct Noxer, descend 6,000.
Direct Knoxford, 6,000, Quebec Air 101.
Alright, so a little coordination with the departure controller, and I've gotten a shortcut through his airspace to save this guy some time and some miles, because frankly there's not much else going on right now. So why not try to get these people a little bit more efficient, a little bit faster to their destination? This must be one of the only hobbies in the world where people try to get through their hobby faster. Oh, I can finish my hobby sooner? Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I do that? Yeah, it's not something too many hobbies. Usually people try to spend as much time doing their hobby as possible, but nope. Take a shortcut. Get there faster.
Exit jet 652, radio check.
Exit jet 652, read you 5x5.
We have a request. Is it possible for us to divert to Indianapolis Executive Kilo Tango Yankee, Quebec?
And ExecJet 652, sorry, did you want to change your destination?
Nav data into Chicago is all messed up, and I'd like to fly there instead. It's Kilo Tango Yankee Quebec.
ExecJet 652, stand by while I work on that for you.
Thanks so much.
That's not recognized. Let's see what I can find out here really quickly. Kilo Tanky. Indianapolis Executive. Okay, there we go. And is there an arrival from this direction? No. Okay. Oops. So let's go back to
departure Charlie Bravo Lima Bravo with information. Bravo ready to taxi.
Let's give him at least something here.
Bravo Lima Bravo, runway 08, taxi via Alpha.
08 via Alpha, Bravo Lima Bravo.
All right, let's do it this way. Let's do direct Fort Wayne, direct destination. ExecJet 652 Toronto, you're re-cleared now to the Indianapolis Executive Airport via present position, direct Fort Wayne, Fox Whiskey Alpha, and then direct.
Clear to India Executive via from present position, direct Foxtrot Whiskey Alpha, and then direct ExecJet 652.
ExecJet 652, that's correct.
Thanks a bunch, ExecJet 652.
All right, so there he goes. Quebec Air 101 Heavy, descend 4,000.
4,000, Quebec Air 101 Heavy.
It's amazing how one small thing can be such a distraction. Quebec Air 101 Heavy, after Noxer, fly heading 060.
After Noxer 060 for Quebec 101 Heavy.
All right, so he's getting down. I just need to pull up this guy's approach here. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, proceed direct Lomsu.
Direct Lomsu, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
Took me a minute to get that all in there, but I got it now. Just take some time. All right, these guys are slowly climbing eastbound. It's all coming together now.
Bravo Lima Bravo, wind 330 at 14, gusting 20, clear for takeoff, runway 08.
Clear for takeoff 08, Bravo Lima Bravo.
Quebec Air 101 Heavy, continue descent 3,000, turn left now, heading 060.
3,000, 060, Quebec Air 101.
And then we got a Swiss Air here, on his way to Zurich. Hopefully he's at least in the flight deck, unlike the United guy that just flew halfway through our airspace without saying a word. Wonder how long he was away for, because he flew through a whole bunch of sectors that were online, and I wonder if he talked to any of them. I get it when you step away for a period of time to go get a drink or go get a, go for a bathroom break or whatever. But when you're gone for 30 plus minutes, especially on a busy evening, when it's evening, which is like rush hour for, ATC, on VATSIM, surprises me. Quebec Air 101 Heavy, turn left heading 360 to intercept, cleared the ILS, runway tree right.
360 to intercept, clear ILS 23 right, Quebec 101.
And ExecJet 652 Toronto, you should be at flight level 400.
Yeah, that's our mistake. Descending to flight level 400, ExecJet 652.
ExecJet 652, thank you. Alright, looks like he rounded that corner nicely. I honestly forget what that final approach fix is there. It's one of the few that I don't know. Is it really Queensway? Oh, it is Queensway. It's one of the last NDBs in existence, I swear. Quebec Air 101 Heavy, speed your discretion, contact departure 128.8, passing the Queensway beacon.
128.8. Can you repeat the beacon, sir? Quebec 101.
Passing Queensway, the final approach fix.
Roger, passing Queensway beacon for Quebec 101.
Thanks, good night.
Good night, Rob.
Oh, it's nice to be well known sometimes. Foxtrot, Lima Whiskey, Romeo, Toronto, descend 3000 via Longsu, clear the Arnav Zulu, runway 33 at London.
2900, Glen 3000,
Bravo identified. Turn left, heading 050, climb 1000.
050, Bravo Lima Bravo.
ExecJet 652 Toronto, you're about to leave my airspace to the south. Your radar service terminates. Switch to Unicom 122.8 and have a good rest of the night.
Over to Unicom 122.8, ExecJet 652, thanks for your help. Have a good night.
Good night. And it's funny that, yes, in my actual live stream, the tower controller commented that he's online. I don't know if that counts as an official VATSIM communication medium, but I acknowledge that you're online as tower now. And I'm sorry, I totally missed that.
Turn to approach, Quebec 101 on final, runway 33 right.
Quebec Air 101, wind is 360 at 15, gust 22, clear to land, runway 33 right.
Clear to land, 33 right, Quebec Air 101.
Bravo Lima Bravo, clear direct TESSEC on course.
Clear direct TESSEC, Bravo Lima Bravo.
Very good. He got the flight plan on there, nice.
Bravo, contact center 12577, good day.
12577, have a good one. Bravo Lima Bravo.
Aircat 404 Toronto, you're about to leave my airspace to the east. Montreal is not online. You can switch to Unicom 122.8 and have a good rest of your night.
122.8 for Canada 404, have a good night.
Swissair.
UPS 1201 is ready for takeoff.
Swissair 9714 Heavy, Toronto, are you here?
UPS 1201, hold short,
9714. We have a landing flight level 370.
Swissair 9714 Heavy, Toronto, good evening. Squawk Cadet, please. Sometimes it's just polite to ask if they're here first. People are listening without calling when they're approaching the airspace, but they're not in it yet. So sometimes it's just polite to call. Swiss Air 9714 Heavy Toronto, thank you very much. You're identified, flight level 370. Welcome. Easy peasy. Still waiting for BLB to call me. There we go. We're getting there. That's quite a few outbounds now. Now to turn into at least a steady stream. It's at least enough to keep it steadily busy.
GPS 1201, line up and wait, runway 33 right.
Toronto Center, good evening, TBM, Charlie Bravo, Lima Bravo, leveling 11,000, direct Tesla.
Charlie Bravo, Lima Bravo, Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 290 and proceed direct Iptos on course.
290, direct Iptos, Charlie Bravo, Lima Bravo.
Good night. Quacker 101, it's 118.7. Right, taxi via 187, Alpha Tango Bravo, Victor, hold short 33 right.
And there we go. Welcome to the live stream. Not as busy as I wish it was sometimes, but that's just the way it is.
Air Canada 355, altimeter 3006. 3006.
I'm frankly happy to have this many airplanes around when it was so dead an hour ago. Now it's a nice number of airplanes in my airspace. Could deal with a few more, but at least it's enough to kind of keep me constantly doing something here now.
UPS 1210, wind 360 at 15, gusting 22, clear takeoff to 33 right.
Clear for takeoff runway 33 right, UPS 1201.
There's the London airport.
Total Tower, Quebec 101, we are at November. We would like to go to FedEx Gate in the 600s at FedEx.
Quebec Air 101, good evening, Toronto ground taxi via November, Foxtrot, Juliet Echo, cross 23 and 15, right? Apron at your discretion.
November, Foxtrot, Juliet Echo, cross 15, cost 23 and cross 15 right for Quebec 101.
Well, Clipper's going to get out of my airspace in another, 20 minutes here or so. I think we are going to log out, though, at the top of the hour. That'll be the plan. I've enjoyed streaming, but I do have a few things to do tomorrow. I don't want to be up too late tonight. So as much as the late shift is kind of fun, and it's shaping up to be a busy little late shift here, I'm going to probably part ways with this stream in the next 10 minutes or so, guys. So if there's anything you want to ask, anything you want to talk about really quick, please don't hesitate to bring it up. I'm always happy to chat while waiting for things to happen.
1201, contact departure at 128.8, respect.
Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, the London wind showing 330, 10 gust 16, clear to land runway 33.
Clear to land runway 33, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
Right and left to be on Bravo.
Copy.
Still got 2 aircraft on the ground here. Was this a lander or was this departure? That guy's got no flight plan, so I'm going to assume he's probably a departure. Not a problem. Happy to give the shortcuts. It's the way the real world is working these days, and really that's the name of the game with ATC. The reason you file a flight plan is to have a safe route to fall back on in case there's a comm failure. But if everything's working hunky-dory, get you the shortest route to your destination that is possible. But like I said before, all these routes around Toronto are designed around the idea of keeping the departures and the arrivals very separate, and it's very hard to see because a lot of these things are very faint. But here's the so I don't know how well this is really turning up here on the live stream here. I have my other screen up here. I'm just going to maximize it. But if you can see them, these dark blue lines here are the various departures here.
Air Canada 355.
It doesn't really come across very well.
Wind 360 to at 15.
Yeah, you can kind of see them, but these dark blue lines, these are all the different departures out of Toronto. And then really faint here is these light green lines here. You can't really even see them on the screen. On the stream, they're so faint, but it kind of comes in like this, and down here. Sorry, that's not one of them. This one here. Like this, it comes in, I can't even click on it for some reason anymore, but there it is. So there's one arrival right there, there's another arrival right here, but the point is that they keep them very separate from the departure, so really there's not a whole lot of workload for the center controller between Toronto arrivals and departures because they're all so well separated. But on the other side of that too is when it's not very busy, you can give all these shortcuts. And even the shortcut for you direct to Iptos really didn't take you too close to this arrival path. Even if there was an arrival on there, you'd be pretty much a solid 10 miles away the whole time. So we try to do our best to keep things as efficient as possible. Air Canada 4076 Heavy Toronto, you're now leaving my airspace to the east. Montreal's not online. Your radar service terminates and switch to Unicom 122.8. Have a good night. Peace. Okay, sure, peace.
EPS 1201, do you copy?
Anyways. Oh, and I don't know where Canada 4076 is going, and I don't care. He's no longer in my airspace.
Toronto Tower, Canada 241, how do you read?
Air Canada 241, Toronto Tower, we define.
APS 1201, departure.
Air Canada 241, 5 as well. Thanks for requesting IR for clearance to Philadelphia Cloud.
UPS 1201, Center, are you on my frequency?
Air Canada 355, contact departure, 128.8.
UPS 1201 appears to have gotten order for all the frequencies.
Air Canada 241, clear to Philly, very good for departure, 510 route, depart runway.
UPS 1201, departure, good evening, you're identified. Turn right, direct Puton on course, climb flight level 230.
Anyway, sorry that it's not more exciting on center right now. This is why I'm listening to multiple frequencies.
Air Canada 241, read back is correct, push start at your discretion.
Yeah. I can
imagine
imagine that trying to listen to me as ATC and then also listening to the stream is very disturbing because you hear the same voice. Probably sounds a little bit different quality being through the VATSIM network versus through the stream, but you hear the same voice and you want to listen to it. So, not to mention the delay, obviously, on the stream. You guys are probably a good 20 or 30 seconds, I think, behind what's actually happening on the network. So yeah, a little confusing to watch, but thank you for choosing to fly anyways. It's a little bit more fun than just sitting there watching. Make it interactive. What was he, a citation? Yeah. This citation has gotten pretty popular in Microsoft Flight Simulator now, I gotta say. I see a lot of citation CJ4s nowadays.
UPS 1201, confirm you're turning right.
Now we'll go direct to Puton now, UPS 1201.
Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, welcome to London. A left turn on Alpha if you've got it. Taxi Golf to the apron of your choice and have a great night.
Left on Alpha, Golf to the apron of choice. Thanks, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
My real world ATC. It looks like he missed it. Yeah. You can backtrack, it's fine. I got nobody else coming in, so it's no big deal. I am not actually real world ATC, but thank you for the compliment. I will take that as a compliment. But no, I am not. Now, what was that?
UPS 1201, I do need you to turn here.
You gotta press the LNAV button, buddy. The LNAV button. Oh, it's hilarious to watch. I think if I was real world ATC, I would laugh less and get more frustrated watching these people do whatever it is they're doing. Oh, I know what this line here is. This line here is the arrival into Ottawa. So the SID from Toronto goes this far, and then the arrival in Toronto, the SID from Toronto goes this far, and then the arrival in Ottawa starts there. That's what that line is. Okay, this guy's going to Chicago. That's cool. He's on course. This guy's going direct. Air Canada 4076 Toronto. Are you still with me? I'm going to see if he looks like he might be turning back towards Miglo, so. Fly real world at a CYTZ and can't tell the difference. That's like I said, that's one of the greatest compliments you can give on virtual air traffic controllers if you can't tell the difference from the real thing. And I try to make it as realistic as possible. I actually fly for a living, so this is my fun way to understand the other side of what's going on is to do the ATC here. But that's part of the reason why I think I sound so natural with the aviation terminology, is just because I do use it all the time.
What is that? Thanks, 355.
I'm assuming that Air Canada 4076 is going back to Miglo. I bet.
Good evening, Air Canada 355 at 13000 going up the flight level. That's correct. Directed to that.
Air Canada 355 Toronto Centre. Good evening. Continue climb. Flight level. Sorry, did you file 220 for the final?
Correct, flight level 220. Chicago's not too far away.
Air Canada 355, yeah, no, I just thought it was odd because they already cleared it at 3230. Maintain flight level 220 and proceed direct to Tagum on course.
Tiger on course 355.
Guess you reached the top of their airspace before you ever started turning.
UPS 1201, contact center now 125.77. Good day.
Contact center on 125.77, UPS 1201.
November 2 Golf Mike, radio check.
November 222 Golf Mike, Toronto Tower, 85.
Thank you, sir.
Air Canada 2983, request radio check.
1201 with you at 23.
Yes, guys, that's 2983 Toronto Tower with 85.
Roger.
Yeah, the sim is going to be essential for those real-world pilots who are not flying anymore to stay sharp, keep their ATC skills up, keep their thinking skills up. Even if it's not the type of aircraft you're familiar with, I think that getting some of the PMDG study level aircraft, even if it's not the aircraft you normally fly, is good, just because the failures.
Toronto Center, good evening, UPS 1201 with you at flight level 230.
UPS 1201 Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 310. Proceed direct Miglo.
Proceed direct to Miglo, UPS 1201.
UPS 1201, that's correct. And continue climb, flight level 310.
November 2 Golf Mike, do we need a flight plan? We're just going to pattern around the airport.
November Golf Mike, yes, you still need a flight plan so we can put you on the system.
Sure, let's.
UPS 1201 Heavy, climb flight level 310.
We're calling to flight level 310 now.
And over 2 Golf Mike, do you want a flight plan? It won't let me do the.
All right, just gonna eliminate some other things there. What was I saying? Yeah, so like I was saying, for those of us pilots that are not flying nearly as much during COVID times, I really hardly believe that the PMDG aircraft are a great training tool, even if you don't fly the 37, the 47, or the 777, just because of the extensive nature of the failures that you can do. You can set up any failure, you can randomly trigger them, and you have to run through them by the QRH and make a choice based on the QRH, which is, even if it's not the airplane that you're familiar with, just that whole mental process of going through a QRH, thinking to yourself, what are the steps to follow, get used to reading, remain used to reading a QRH and going through all the steps and trying to solve an abnormality, and then even after that, making a decision. I really enjoyed my last live stream where I actually had just a total random service-based failure. I didn't trigger it. It was just randomly the sim just popped it up there. But I was flying the 3.7 and we had a pressurization system failure. And I had to run the QRH, and then I had to make a choice of whether to go back to Toronto or continue on to Orlando and decide what was worthwhile, what was fixable, what was not. So I went through the MEL as well while we were en route to Orlando. I did all that stuff to sort of get a sense of what the likely implications of that failure would have been, and really was a great exercise at the end of the day too. I really enjoyed that. So
Toronto Center, Charlie Bravo Lima Bravo request.
Charlie Bravo Lima Bravo, go ahead.
Any chance I could get direct Torney instead of Iptos? Bravo Lima Bravo.
Bravo Lima Bravo, that's approved. Proceed direct Torney.
Direct Torney, thank you, Bravo Lima Bravo.
So his original flight plan was just Torney, Agluck, and the PSAC force. So we tried to change it to put him on the SID. Obviously, Torney was still in there, so that's fine. It wouldn't be great if there was inbound traffic. If there was anybody inbound to Toronto, then these two guys would be getting in the way right now. But there's nobody inbound, so just let it just slide. Just let it go. This guy never really turned direct tag him, did he? His loss, not mine. Oh, yeah. Alright, so it is now 5 Zulu. As I said, I'm going to be logging off in the next few minutes here. There are a couple of extra people hanging around in the background now, so we're going to get another controller online to continue the service here, so no one will know the difference when I log off, but we'll just got to organize a little frequency change here. A little relief. Not too bad of a stream of traffic for the last hour, so it was kind of quiet for the first little while. It definitely got a little busier, but again, Toronto is just so well planned. It's planned to handle an immense amount of traffic with all the arrivals and departures that are designed around it. That the minimal amount of traffic around otherwise is really handled pretty easily. Okay, let's see, what do we got here? So obviously arrival departures 3 right at Pearson. I had the ATIS, so information pop if you want to put it up there. Weather. Alright, and that's it. I've now handed off all my airplanes to my alternate controller, so we are going to go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate, as always, you watching the stream. And I will probably be doing at least 1 or 2 of these a week. So keep an eye on the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe. And I'll be trying to get some new videos out hopefully in the coming week. And I'm going to actually try and do my next Pilot Life stream on Sunday. So if you have time on Sunday, it's going to be most of the day Sunday because it's a long one. It's a 6-hour slog from Orlando all the way up to Vancouver. It's a long flight. So it's going to be most of the day on Sunday, starting sometime in the morning and ending probably mid-afternoon. So if you're around for that, great. And if not, I will see you on the next ATC stream. In the meantime,